And this is the final example of this section. And it's again one from my back catalog. It's from the middle section of a tune called Reverse Engineering. And that tune has a very lengthy hybrid picking section. This is basically the opening of that section. And you may have noticed that pretty much all the examples so far started on a downstroke on a lower string. Now this one starts with an actual hybrid pick note here on the B string. And then goes into another one of those very odd subdivision patterns where we are dividing an even number of notes. In this case, we are dividing 16 16th notes into loads of different little groupings, which at the end amount to 16 again. That's the pattern. So it starts with 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, which again makes 5. Then goes to 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, which makes 7. And then we're just evening out the number of notes to 16 at the end. This 3-4 note thing at the end. And that's the whole passage, again being applied to different chords after that, just like we did in Ascension. So the next chord is this. And then and in order to be able to play this at all, you have to cultivate a technique which I think is super important, but also really underrated. And what I'm talking about is that while playing and fretting these chord shapes, you have to be able to fret one note while simultaneously keeping your fingers on the other notes of the chord, but not fretting them. So in this first bar, on the first note of the pattern, I would be fretting the D, meaning that this finger applies pressure to the note right here. And the other ones are in their respective spots, as you can see. But they're not fretting the notes, they're not pushing down on the fretboard. They're just muting the strings. And so the only note that is actually sounding, that is ringing out, is this one. Now, once we get to the second note, I don't apply any pressure anymore on this note, but it doesn't leave the fretboard. It stays on that string and essentially muting it. Now the pressure is being applied on this finger and this finger alone, fretting the note, while these two would be just blocking the strings from producing unwanted noise. And in this entire passage, I'm doing that to every single note except obviously for the open strings. And to block those, I'm using good old palm muting. So that's a technique that's extremely powerful because it combines fretting notes and playing the passage that you want to play with muting as much as you can. And especially if you have these high tempo hybrid picking things which jump from string to string in pretty crazy shapes, then you need any opportunity to mute the strings and to prevent unwanted noise, string noise, and this sort of thing from happening.